Hi, and thank you for tuning into Noir Histoire. I'm Natasha, and in this episode, I'll be sharing what I have learned about William Bill Pickett. Born on December 5th, 1870, died on April 2nd, 1932, nationality American, notable cowboy and entertainer. William Bill Pickett was born 30 miles north of Austin in Travis County, Texas. He was the second of 13 children who would be born to Mary Virginia Elizabeth Gilbert and Thomas Jefferson Pickett. The couple had been previously enslaved, and while the details of his ethnic makeup are unclear, Pickett was of both Black and Native American descent. Growing up in Texas, Pickett spent time on ranches where he began learning how to ride horses and rope cattle at a young age. After completing the 5th grade, Pickett went to work on a ranch and officially became a cowboy. As a ranch hand, Pickett began to learn simple tricks that he performed on the weekends. Pickett and his family relocated to Taylor, Texas when he was in his late teens. He, along with 4 of his brothers, established Pickett Brothers Bronco Busters and Rough Riders Association. Through this company, they offered services that included herding cattle, as well as cattle and horse breaking, the practice of taming wild cows and horses. Around the age of 20, Pickett married a formerly enslaved woman, Maggie Turner, and their marriage would produce 9 children. By young adulthood, Pickett had grown to be relatively slight in build. He stood at 5 feet and 7 inches and weighed about 145 pounds. While observing herder dogs and ranches, Pickett noticed that while they were even smaller than him, the dogs were capable of subduing and controlling steers that were far larger than them. The nose and lips of steers are quite sensitive. Herd dogs would bite down on their nose or lip, which would cause the steer to stop moving. Pickett adapted this method for subduing steers. He would chase after a steer on a horse, jump from the horse to the cow's back, wrestle the steer to the ground, and then bite the cow's lip until it stopped moving. Bulldogs were typically used to herd steers and utilized this biting submission method, so the practice came to be known as bulldogging. As the first person to popularize the practice, Pickett was given the nickname the Bulldogger. Bulldogging is obviously dangerous, so do not attempt this with steer, other animals, or humans. Also, it's pretty gross to bite a cow on the nose or lip. In 1888, Pickett performed locally in his first rodeo. He went on to perform in more rodeos across Texas and elsewhere in the Wild West under the Bulldogger and Dusky Demon monikers. Crowds went wild upon witnessing the spectacle of Pickett using his bulldogging skills at rodeos and fairs. He quickly became a popular performer on the rodeo and fair circuit. Bulldogging evolved into steer wrestling, which became a standardized competition at rodeos and one of its main events. Pickett capitalized on his popularity by joining the one-on-one ranch Wild West show. He remained a standout performer while working alongside other big-name Wild West figures. Pickett transitioned from being a contract performer with the one-on-one ranch to a full-time employee in 1907. In addition to working as a cowhand on the ranch in Oklahoma, Pickett continued to perform. The following year, he relocated his family from Texas to Oklahoma, where he would be based for much of the rest of his life. Despite his skills and contributions to rodeos, Pickett still had to contend with racism. As with other facets of society at the time, many rodeos did not allow Black participants to compete against white people. Thus, Pickett was frequently barred from participation. To get around these exclusions, Pickett often had to register in rodeos as a Native American or otherwise attempt to obscure his identity as a Black man. Even in the face of adversity, Pickett established a noteworthy record as a rodeo competitor and performer. He would have achieved even greater acclaim had he been allowed to openly compete on equal footing with white cowboys. Pickett performed in hundreds of rodeos and even appeared in 2 silent films in the early 1920s. These performances saw him travel across the American West, the rest of North America, South America, and England. Sources vary on the exact decade, but Pickett stopped performing in rodeos at some time between 1916 and the 1920s, though he continued to work as a ranch hand. Unfortunately, William Bill Pickett died on April 2, 1932, as a result of injuries he sustained from being kicked in the head by a horse. Decades after his death, Pickett was inducted into the National Rodeo Hall of Fame and the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame and Museum of the American Cowboy. Pickett is regarded as being the first Black cowboy star. When he was featured on a U.S. postage stamp in 1994, it became one of the most popular and sought-after collectible stamps. Thanks for tuning in. Show notes and sources are available on the Noir Histoire website via the link in the episode description. I'm working on creating downloadables and infographics, so keep an eye on the website. These Black History Facts are released every Wednesday, so if you enjoyed this episode and want more, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and check out my Black History Facts playlist.